Look at this. It's amazing what kind of video and audio quality you can get and a blurry background from a small, lightweight 12-ounce consumer camcorder. Yes, camcorder. So let's go on vacation together with a couple of the smallest lightweight camcorders and be amazed. Hey everybody, Marcus, that guy who loves camcorders. I just can't stop loving camcorders. They're just so easy to use. I just love the form factor, how you open up the door and it just starts recording. So for those of you who don't really like having to figure out how to work a camera and what settings to use, you just want to open it up, push record, and it does all the thinking for you. Nothing beats a camcorder. And these things can run all day without overheating or shutting down. And there's just so many. I already did video on the benefits of camcorders. So anyway, if you like camcorders and you want something that's easy to use and you're traveling, here's my 2 suggestions for the smallest, most lightweight camcorders that you can take with you on a trip. Nothing gets more cool and small than a Sony CX405. This thing only weighs 6.5 ounces. It weighs nothing. And it's just the coolest little, anybody who has a 405 will tell you how much they love it. It is the starting level of cool camcorders. It is, and I'll show you samples of everything. And then there's the Panasonic VX981. If you want to get a little bit more serious, this does 4K and all that, has mic input. This one doesn't. But anyway, this is the one to consider. It only weighs 12 ounces. It's so lightweight. It's so cool of a lightweight, small camcorder. So let's start with the CX405, this cute little thing. It has optical image stabilization. It shoots 1080 60p. The sensor is a 2 megapixel 1/5.8 inch sensor, which is small as sensors go, but it's about the best quality you can get for a small, tiny little lightweight camcorder. The lens is a f1.8 to 4. If you like lightweight and small, nothing beats the little CX405. If you want to get a little more serious, we get the Panasonic VX981. It only weighs 12 ounces. This thing is also really, really lightweight and small. This shoots 4K or 1080 60p. It has 5-axis hybrid optical image stabilization. It has a large 3-inch touchscreen. The lens is f1.8 to 3.6, which you can actually get a little bit of a blurry background with this thing, which is really cool. It has an HDR movie mode, which means high dynamic range, which is really good. It takes 25 megapixel still images. It has a bigger sensor, obviously, which is 1/2.3, which is comparable to the Sony AX33, very popular camera. The Sony AX43 and 53, they have a 1/2.5 sensor, which is smaller than this. And if you really want to compare sensor sizes, this will blow your mind. The big prosumer $1,700 X1500 has an 8 megapixel 1/2.5 sensor. So this has a bigger sensor than that big, huge prosumer camera, which costs $1,700. This costs $800, which is less than even the AX43 and 53, which cost over $1,000. It has a mic input, and it even has a little video light on the front, which you can also use as a flash. So if you're taking video or still pictures of yourself, you can light up your face in dark areas. So let's go on vacation together with these 2 little lightweight camcorders and see what kind of footage we can get while traveling. So let's start with the little tiny CX405. All shots from both cameras are untouched right out of the camera, no color adjusting, and audio is from the built-in mics. The little 405 does not have a mic jack, but wow, the audio quality from the built-in stereo mics is shockingly good. Most cell phones and laptops are not stereo, but listen in stereo if you can. So here's a bunch of shots from the little tiny CX405.
Wow, you are insane.
Welcome to the tropics. So I forgot what I needed at Sephora, so I told the guy, go look at me. Okay, so what do we want? This side Or this side from Schoolhouse Rock. And I go, I don't remember that. So he showed it me the video, he found it. I like your little camera.
Yeah, it's cute, isn't it?
It's so light. It's like 0.002 ounces.
And here are some shots from the Panasonic VX981, which is a 4K camera, which obviously costs a little more than the 405. In a minute, I'll do some back and forth comparisons between the two cameras. You'll notice the audio is quieter. That's because it's an automatic, but you can adjust that manually.
Chicken?
Yeah. Come to the ocean with me. I'm gonna swim all the way out to that big old barge over there. Hi, remember last time?
This is the 25 times optical zoom. This is the 60 times intelligent zoom.
Digital zoom 60 times.
And this is the 1500 times digital zoom. Here's some back and forth comparisons. Keep in mind the little 405 is only $200 and the 981 is $800.
The sleigh bells ring, ding, 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 ding. Oh my God. Aldi white treetop. Did you feel that beautiful female energy just now between us married women?
What?
And I looked at his face. He was all made up like a supermodel. And I go, oh, that's what I needed, eyelashes. You wear 10 hours a day. I said, well, do you think Maui is ever going to get rid of their masks? And he said, as soon as everybody else does, then we will.
And here's a few miscellaneous shots from back home.
White balance on the CX405.
Scene mode. Which
This is the little CX405, and this is the big interfit umbrella.
Bodies won't do much good if there is no system to kill invaders.
VX981 in 4K.
CX405 again with the Westcott, little Westcott umbrella. Pretty sweet, huh? Now I know the audio level's been really quiet on the 981, and before you write it off, let me remind you that what you've been hearing up to this point was just the built-in microphone set to auto. Remember, this thing is a mic jack. And what if I told you that what you're hearing right now is the same camera? I've got right now an external microphone plugged into it. It's a Sennheiser AVX wireless system with a DPA 6060 lavalier mic, and I'm going to play some different microphones and systems in a minute so you hear the differences, but wow, what audio quality and video quality you can get from this tiny little 12-ounce consumer camcorder. Let's try some different audio stuff. It's a Rodelink Filmmaker wireless system with a DPA 4080 lavalier mic. This is an Audio-Technica 899 wired microphone. It's a little lavalier mic right here. Has a long cord running all the way to the camera where it's plugged in. The camera is kind of cool. It has level meters, so you can see how you're leveling it, and it's set to automatic gain control, so it automatically levels the audio, so I don't have to worry about being too loud or too quiet. This is an Audio-Technica 899. Let's try another microphone. All right, here's another one. This is a Sanken COS11D lavalier microphone, and this is a DPA 6060, one of the smallest lavalier microphones in the world. It just has a little wire running right into the camera here, and I think it sounds pretty darn good. And now we're using the ever-popular YouTubers copying Hollywood method of an overhead shotgun mic. It's a Sennheiser ME66 with a cable running all the way to the camera. Yeah, you can use wireless too. I mean, I could go on forever with all kinds of microphones and wireless systems and cable systems. The point is, I think you get it. You get some great audio into this camera, and it's just endless, the different ways you can get audio into a camera, and it's just a little 1/8 inch jack. There's no big XLR clunky connectors, no big giant handles. It's a little tiny 12-ounce camera that you can hold in your hand. It's super lightweight, it's super small. I love this camera, and you can get great audio and great video from a little camcorder. And if you are using a wireless mic, this camera comes with a little hot shoe that you can plug in the back that the receiver goes on. They've thought of everything. You can even use it to put a video light on if you want. And yes, it has an HDMI out, so you can record to an external recorder. And I love how the SD card pops out without having to take the camera off a tripod. And they were smart enough to put threads on the front of this, so I put a 16 times ND filter on the front, which allows the aperture to be wide open on fully sunny days like this, which means shallow depth of field, which means blurry background. You just set the camera way back and use the optical zoom. The further you zoom, the blurrier the background gets. This camera has a 20 times optical zoom, but I'm only set at 16 times right now. It's not even full zoom, and it's still got a blurry background. The reason this camera is able to do this is it has a 1/2.3 inch sensor, which is just big enough to start giving you blurry backgrounds. Another reason I love this camera. And camcorders can run all day long without overheating or shutting down. They never complain. Camcorders are just so awesome. Here's a low light shot at night with the 981 in a parking lot with a 20 times zoom. And this is almost no light at all. Not bad for a tiny little sensor.
All right, so there's my two favorite little camcorders that are small and lightweight, that if you're traveling, if you like ease of use, if you don't want to have to think about what settings to use and you just want to open it up and push record and it does all the thinking for you, then these are the two camcorders I suggest you have if you really like small and lightweight. The Sony CX405 and the Panasonic VX981. I hope this opened your eyes a little bit as to what's possible and available out there. I always try to give you cheaper options, more lightweight options, more portable options, and more easy to use options. So I hope my channel inspires you. Tell your friends about Marcus Picks, and I'll see you next week.